Hey, another dog park video. This one's kind of weird. I'm in the middle of trading up and trading down some hardware. Basically, the two laptops that I use all the time. One would be my Linux laptop, which is my daily driver, and the other would be the MacBook Air that I have. And oddly enough, I'm trading down for the Linux laptop and trading up for the MacBook Air. Now remember, this is from someone who is not a Mac lover, or at least an Apple Mac OS lover, and someone who uses Linux all the time. So what is going on? Can I explain this? I don't know. I'll give it a try. So, as you may or may not know, I am retired. I retired in 2025 during the middle of the year. And while my wife and we're not reduced to eating cat food, we don't have a lot of disposable income. And I feel bad, spending money on tech stuff. And I'm not a YouTube bro who can score, complimentary hardware every other month. Plus, as I age, my eyesight's getting a bit worse and things like that. So the equipment I've been using up till now was a Lenovo IdeaPad 5, which is actually a pretty powerful AMD-powered laptop with fairly typical Windows laptop battery life. That's the one I run Linux on and is my daily driver. That's the one I do most of my stuff on, probably. A year or so ago, I had bought an M1 MacBook Air, a used one, which was the base model. It did have 16 gigs, but it was the 256 gig storage, which is not a lot. It's not terrible, but it's not a lot. It was very comparable to the IdeaPad in performance, probably a little better in some areas. Certainly much better battery life and a better display. Now, my relationship with macOS is kind of weird. I still don't embrace it. It's completely usable. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not horrible. But to me personally, it's not the sort of intuitive platform that, many people claim that it is. So then, 6 months or so ago, I upgraded to an M3 MacBook Air. I sold the M1 and spent a little bit to get the M3 MacBook Air. Again, the base model, 16 gigs with 256 gig storage. And that was fine. I used that a fair bit. It was noticeably more powerful than the M1. Had a nicer webcam, that kind of thing. Still, these were both the 13-inch models, by the way. So the spirit moved me, and I decided I wanted to do some hardware switching around. My contention is that to get something approaching the visual quality and the battery life of the MacBook, I'd have to spend a lot on a Windows laptop. $1,500, $2,000, that kind of money, which I don't have. So what I did was I'm selling the Lenovo IdeaPad, and I'll explain why in a second. I got a Lenovo ThinkPad 480S, which is an older model, obviously. And using what proceeds I'll get from selling the IdeaPad and putting some more money to it, I got an M3 MacBook Air, 15-inch, with 512 gigs of storage. It's a bigger screen, still has a great battery life. Now, my back of the napkin arithmetic means I hope to only actually spend about $200 to complete this update. The reason I downgraded to the ThinkPad was I wasn't really using all the capability of the IdeaPad. I mean, it has a touchscreen, which I barely use. It can be used as a tablet, which I've never used. You can, flip the screen all the way around. That's why it's a 2-in-1. And it was almost as powerful as the Mac, but the battery life wasn't as good. I just thought, for the stuff I'm doing on Linux, a ThinkPad is fine. Plus, I can use a little bit of the money that I make selling the IdeaPad to help pay for the M3 15-inch MacBook Air. So that's my weird roundabout thinking. perhaps perversely, I still much prefer Linux as my daily driver for most things. I'm much more comfortable in Linux than I am in Mac. But going forward, I do expect to use the MacBook more for video editing and for local LLM stuff. The ThinkPad doesn't really do local LLM stuff at all. It's too slow. But the MacBook Air has a much better screen. It's a bigger screen. It just makes it a little easier. And I'm still using open source stuff. I'm still using Audacity and Kdenlive Live on Mac. I'm not using, DaVinci Resolve or anything. I have used that. That's fine, but it has a lot of stuff I don't need. So, I'm still using open source stuff. And I know this channel is not going Apple crazy. I just wanted to update you guys on what I'm using. My mix of content should be, similar going forward. So don't worry about it too much. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what I'm using and how I'm using it. And hopefully I haven't made a terrible mistake. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Hey, if you got something out of this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And remember, be excellent to each other.